All right, good morning, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream, and welcome to a brand new full week of gameplay streams. That is right, starting immediately, right now. How about 7 straight days of full-time streaming? What a variety of stuff we've got coming up for everyone here. Man, what a week this is going to be. Okay, we've got continuing playthroughs. We've got the premiere of new console exclusive hyped playthroughs. We're going to have our first major information coming out of things like Summer Games Fest and E3. I'll actually be covering E3 stuff next weekend coming up. Okay, so we've got a crazy week ahead of us. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun one. And I hope that you guys are ready. All right? There's going to be some good stuff, man. A good variety of stuff that I'm very excited for. And I hope you guys are excited too. Yeah. I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Yesterday was my day off from streaming. And I did not stream at all. Instead, I was spending time with my family. Most of the day I was out, admittedly. Had a big, busy day. Had to go to the garbage dump. First time in months, a lot of stuff just kind of accumulates and basically trying to clean out our garage. You know, I've only lived here since 2014, and the garage has continuously been a pigsty. Just haven't really ever cleaned it out well. So my wife and I, it is like our agenda that over the course of this summer, you know, piece by piece, we need to clean out the garage. Because when you live in a place, things accumulate. For example, here, you are not allowed legally to throw out styrofoam in the state of Washington. If you throw styrofoam in the trash, you'll actually get in trouble. They have proper methods to dispose of styrofoam. So over the past, 2 years, every piece of styrofoam we've gotten, whether it was in a box or a package or whatever, we saved up and bagged up. And now we have to basically go somewhere to dispose of this styrofoam. Yes, I'm not kidding. Some people are like, what the actual fuck in the stream chat right now. Yes, this is true. This is how, when you live in a green state, a lot of things are weird. This is one of the things that's different, is that you have to dispose of styrofoam at a special facility. Now, normally, these facilities would have been plentiful and easy to get out there, but during the COVID pandemic last year, a lot of them shut down. So we basically have to find time to do this. We have some clothes and things like older clothes that we want to donate. We've been saving up. And, of course, like I said, we had some trash saved up. So yesterday I went to the dump, did a dump run, tossed a bunch of shit. A lot of old stuff. We actually had an old vacuum cleaner that broke a while ago. You know, tossing that shit. And then we went and had, you know, some breakfast. Lots of stuff to do yesterday. Out and about. Mostly my wife had stuff that she needed to do. And it was a nice day. It was a cooler day. It was rainy, which we prefer a rainy day on our day out. Why? Because if it's a hot day, then every time you get in a car, it's like 100 degrees oven. You know, and it wasn't. No sun. It was rainy, so it was actually a cool, nice day. That's what we actually prefer here in the Pacific Northwest. A lot of people like heat. We do not. Okay, so we had a good day. We had a good day out. Then we came home, and my wife's like, well, you know, let's order out for dinner. I said, okay, sounds good. What should we do? Well, don't feel like this, don't feel like this. Let's try somewhere new. So we ordered out this place we never ordered from before, a Chinese food place. It was terrible. It was so bad. That's the problem ordering out, is you just don't know. And the ratings are such bullshit, because every place you look has a good rating. And then you order, and the food's, disgusting. It was really bad. It was like, wow, compared to other places we've eaten, similar kinds of cuisine, it was, seriously terrible. It was like, let's get some chow mein. Oh, the chow mein is bland and flavorless, and all the meat in the chow mein is rubbery, meaning that it's frozen meat. They didn't make it fresh. It's probably been sitting, you know, either frozen or refrigerated for a week. You know, no flavor at all. My wife ordered honey walnut chicken. All right? Now, we never had that before. We're like, oh, maybe it'll be something different. Honey walnut chicken, you know? It was disgusting. It was basically like the general breaded chicken that you buy anywhere, you know, the chunks of breaded chicken. You could tell that they had been frozen. They weren't fresh made. They'd been frozen chicken. Just rolled together in some kind of a fucking sauce. The sauce didn't taste like anything. It wasn't sweet. It wasn't sour. It wasn't salty. I don't even know what it was. It was a sauce that had like zero flavor. And then they just tossed some walnuts in it. Oh, honey walnut chicken. Oh, sure. Sure it is. It was pretty bad. And then how about getting an appetizer? So my wife actually really likes what are they called? I'm trying to remember. Those fried things that with crab, it's like a wonton with crab and cheese inside. Is it called like rangoons or something like that? I don't know. We ordered an appetizer plate of those. And so you bite into it. It's completely bland. No crab flavor whatsoever. It's like eating a mouthful of cream cheese. I was like, oh, like there's supposed to be crab in here. This is I might as well just take cream cheese out of the refrigerator and just put a spoon of it in my mouth. That's all it tasted like. A ball of cream cheese. So basically it was disgusting. It was actually not that expensive. Someone just said, oh, it's expensive. Of course not. It was actually one of the deals when you go on like certain delivery apps like DoorDash or what's the other one that we use? Grubhub. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, there's a special discount today if you order from this place. In this particular place, it was $5 off your order. So that's why we ordered from them. And it was yuck. It was gross. I was just like, wow, what a bust. Right? So, so it is what it is. You know? You always take a chance when you're ordering for somewhere you don't know. That's why I prefer to order, like we have during the pandemic, we ordered maybe from like 5 to 10 different places, and we kind of hashed out the ones we like. Like there's one place we really like if we're going to order barbecue. There's one place we really like if we're going to order one kind of Asian food. There's another place, there's an Indian place we order from that's really good. So I said, why don't we just order from one of those places? And Kat's like, no, let's try something different. I'm like, all right. Did not pan out. It was pretty bad. Anyway, so that was pretty much my day yesterday. It was a fun day. Something different. Not necessarily relaxing because I was out for most of the day, running all around. It is what it is. So today, I start a 7-day streaming week. That's right. I'm here 7 straight days this week without a break. Okay? Pretty good. Pretty good fun this week with the variety of stuff I'll be doing. Because not only new releases, but also, like I said, the new coverage of the new stuff, the new game stuff coming out this week is going to be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure we're going to get some big information from Summer Games Fest as well as E3 this week. So that should be pretty good. My next day off is a week from today. That's right. So 1 week from today would be the 14th of June. That's my next day off, just so you guys know. I'll be here every day between then. Also, today is the first day, yet again, of my wife starting a new work schedule. Yes, it has been very tumultuous here over the past 2 to 3 months, if you haven't noticed. If you haven't noticed, my streams used to have certain streams when Jasper could be on the stream, certain streams when he could not be on the streams. Then it kind of got thrown into a loop, and it's been weird. And I don't know when my days off are and stuff like that, okay? It's been a little chaotic, to say the least, okay? Now, just so you know, this will not affect my streaming schedule. My streams will remain the same. All right, still going to have one stream starting at 10:45 a.m. Pacific time, running till around 4 p.m. Pacific time. There will still be a late stream that starts around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, running till around 9:30 Pacific time. Okay, that's not going to change. What's going to change is basically, if Jasper can be in the office or not for a certain stream, because it was at one point he was here for night streams, then he was here for day streams, then he was kind of half and half. And the last week, he hasn't been here at all. Okay? Well, some days he will be here for the stream. Some days he will not. He's actually here right now. He's laying on the floor relaxing. Because my wife is at work. She now works mid-shifts. All right? I know. What a change. It was late shifts, then morning shifts. Now she works mid-shifts. And every once in a while it changes. Like, for example, I think today she's only working till like 7. But then later in the week, she has a shift where she goes in like later afternoon, and then she works till like 8 or 9. So it all depends. But they're all more mid shifts. There's no more early morning and no more going super late. So because of that, you know, during the daytimes, if Jasper wants to be in here, he can. Now, if Jasper does not behave, like sometimes he tends to do, he tends to misbehave, bite the wires, try to get my attention, then he's not going to be able to be in here every day. And there will be days that my wife will be off of work, and then he won't be in here at all. He'll be spending time with Kat, okay? So just to let you know, a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a change. In fact, this kind of shifts my work schedule around again between the streams. It won't actually affect the streams. It affects what I do between the streams, because I had to adjust the time that I do stuff, like paying bills, filming patron Q&A videos and stuff. All that had to be shifted for like 2 months when she was on this different shift, different schedule. And now she changed again, so now I got to change it again. It's like, but it's all good. Here's the good news about all of this. All right? This should be the good news about all of this. As of this coming week, all right, I may actually know every single week when my next day off will be. There will be no more uncertainty about the schedule. Excuse me. About the schedule. We've had a lot of uncertainty for the last several months of, gee, what day am I going to be off? How many days will I be streaming this week, etc. It seems like there's actually going to be consistency, unlike how it was for the past 3 months. Because Kat is now moving into this new shift, it seems like everything will actually be set out weeks ahead of time, you know, like it's supposed to be when you actually have a job that's being taken seriously. Seriously, how on earth, and I just got to say this, how on earth there are jobs out there that think that they are, like, dictating your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is a retail job, but you think that you're going to tell me the day before if I work tomorrow? You think you're not even going to give me the schedule until, like, the day before the next week? Like, on what planet do you fucking live that you think this job is important enough to me that my entire life has to be dictated because you're lazy and you can't put out a fucking schedule in any kind of a rational period of time? I mean, if you're a manager at any job, in particular a retail job, one of your primary core responsibilities is to make the fucking schedule. And if you can't do that, you have failed at one of the core designs of your job, and you shouldn't have a job. I'm just saying, I mean, it's common sense, but that's the problem, sadly, in retail America, is that a lot of these places don't have common sense. Okay? They just don't. But anyway, it looks like this is going to be the complete polar opposite situation. Now, Kat will be having her work schedule for weeks ahead of time. So I will know, like right now, I know this week is Monday is the day off. I think the week after that, we're actually going to target either Tuesday or Wednesday for our day off. And what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to settle it back into the way that it used to be before the last 2 to 3 months. Remember, the last 2 to 3 months, it was all over the place. I was having a weekday off, then I would have a fucking weekend off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It was weird as shit, right? Now it looks like we may actually be able to target the same day or days off every week, whether it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Kat and I really liked having weekdays off, because here's why. Even though a lot of people like weekends off for whatever reason, we like having a weekday off as our day off together. Because when we go out to do our stuff, number one, grocery shopping, it's way less people out during the weekdays. If you go weekday mornings, the store's almost empty. Versus trying to go on a weekend, it's always packed. You're waiting in line, there's people all in the store. It's a pain in the ass. So just getting the grocery shopping done as soon as possible, very, very, very useful, okay? In addition to that, when you're out and about, there's not a lot of traffic. Not a lot of people are out during the middays, especially now that the world's getting back to normal. It's actually official here in Washington State. By the end of June, everything gets back to normal. All of the sanctions for coronavirus will be lifted. All stores and businesses will be at 100% capacity. Kids will be returning to school who have not yet. So everything will be back to normal, so, as if it, the coronavirus kind of never happened, except I'm sure a lot of people will still be wearing masks. So because of that, during the weekdays, there won't be a lot of people out. People will be at work or school again. So that's why we like doing that. And then, of course, on top of all of that, going out for the one meal a week that we get to go out. If we go out, there's almost no one out on a weekday, so you get you sit down right away. There's not a lot of people, not crowded. Get your food quickly, efficiently. That's why we love having weekdays off. For it was like 2 straight years that we had weekdays off, and then for the last 2-3 months, it's been shitty. Every once in a while, mostly it's been weekends. And see, Albert Sneed also in the chat says it's also worse for your viewers when you have like a weekend, like a Sunday off. See, I agree, because I know many of you, yeah, you're in school, you have jobs, and a lot of people have weekends off. So for me to be here all weekend makes more sense. I usually get more attendance on a weekend than I do during the weekdays. That's just, it always has been like that, you know? You get a little bit of an artificial influx of more viewers on a weekend. So I've enjoyed having the weekdays off so I could be here all weekend with you guys. I'm okay with that. I don't care. I don't need a weekend. Tuesday or Wednesday is my weekend, right? Who cares? So, yeah, it's looking good. It's looking like if we can keep it consistent, which it looks like we may be able to, that moving forward now, we'll say, okay, my day off will be this set day again, whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Like I said, I'll let you know. We got to have a settle in a little bit here. Okay? But things are looking up, basically, in regards to this. After a few tumultuous months behind the scenes here, it's looking like things are going to get back to, into a settled deal. All right? Fair enough? Good. This is all good news, by the way. Okay. So now let's talk. Let's talk about the week. Let's talk about what's coming up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we even talk about the schedule, I'm just going to say something up front, and then I don't want to mention it again. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I need your support. I am a full-time streamer with 0 sponsorships. I do not have any exclusive partnership agreement to stream anywhere and get paid. I don't get paid by any company to advertise their products. I am here because of you and your crowdfunding. All right? That's why. You guys like me. You like my content. You support it via the streams. I appreciate the way that you guys step up and you do support my content to allow me to continue to do what I love for a living. Thank you for that. This week, all right, very matter-of-factly, I don't know how much more plain I can put this. I need your help with tips. This week, I have 2 more major payments to make, and then I have to raise enough to pay my mortgage. All right? So, you can see at the top of your screens, the tips goal for the stream is $200, and yes, it's going to remain that all week. I really need to be hitting these tips goals this week. If I don't know. I'm just basically going to have to pick and choose what I pay and I don't pay. That's not good. All right? There is a light at the end of this tunnel. The light is that I will be getting paid by YouTube around the 3rd week of this month. When that happens, I'll start to consistently receive income from YouTube on a monthly basis, just like I was doing from Twitch when I was in the Twitch Partnership Program. All right? Yes, getting kicked out of the Twitch Partnership Program disrupted my life and my business, but now we're finally getting back on track. But we need to get through this incredibly important week for me to get to the point where things will be back on track. And if I don't pay half my bills this week, that's terrible. That would be, I don't know what would happen, honestly. I don't know who would be more pissed. Do you not pay the internet bill? Well, that would be a bad idea considering the fact that I need to stream to make money. Do I not pay the mortgage? That's probably a bad idea too, considering that I just declared bankruptcy a year ago. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do if I can't raise enough, you see? So, if you like the streams, please support them via tipping. It is not mandatory that you contribute, but it is greatly appreciated. If this week it means, all right, I was thinking about becoming a member this week to the channel, I was thinking about doing a bunch of super chats, but Phil needs the help with tips, I'll do that. Yes, please do. Please forego everything else this week. Once I get past paying the mortgage, things will be much better. But I need to be able to pay my damn mortgage in 1 week's time. So please tip me this week if you can. I'm saying this up front so I don't have to constantly mention it, And yes, ladies and gentlemen, once we get to when YouTube is paying me consistently, yes, the tips goals will not have to be $200 a stream anymore. Yes, I'll be able to lower it back to how it used to be on Twitch, where it was $100 a stream, which was working well until Twitch fucked it all over with stupidity. I just don't want, I'm still so pissed about the whole situation with them that I don't want to go into it again. You guys know the situation, how fucking stupid it was. So why waste time? Instead of dwelling on the shitty past, let's just focus on the future. All right? The streams here on YouTube have been going well. The quality is great. You guys seem to enjoy the streams. I'm having fun with the streams. We're trying to improve them as much as we possibly can, right? And by the way, speaking of which, if anyone would like to design some new animations for the stream, for example, when someone becomes a member or someone does a super chat, if you'd like to design a new animation for that to play on the stream, I would love that. I have 0 skill designing any kind of animations, Right now I'm using default animations that I used to use for things over on YouTube ages ago. So, hey, anyone wants to make something new, custom for the YouTube streams, please, by all means, do. I'd be more than happy to implement that on the streams. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, I should also say thank you to those who've been submitting new pre-stream and break artwork here for the streams. It's really good to have fresh new artwork being added to the lineup instead of the same stuff that's been playing for years. And it seems like people have been excited for the new streams on YouTube. You know, not only do I have new people coming in for the first time and saying, hey, first time watching your stream, because I always used to watch on demand on YouTube, but now that you're here, I'll watch the streams, which is awesome. But now people are like, man, I want to contribute. I want to make it so that Phil's streams feel fresh and new. So let's go ahead and, you know, whip some new artwork together for him. And I've been really appreciative of that. So thank you to anyone who's done that. There's at least, I believe, 4 new pieces of artwork just on today's stream alone. So thank you very much for that, everybody. Okay? All right. So, schedule-wise, let's talk about what you guys can expect. Today, it is Virtua Fighter 5 continuing on. I've done one major stream of this so far, and it's very exciting, very entertaining, learning a new fighting game for the first time, okay? I'm not good at it, but I'm learning some of the fundamentals, and I like the fact that this game, Virtua Fighter 5, is not gimmicky. There's no, oh, at the last minute, do an ultimate reversal super that blows through 80% of their life and is invincible. Or, oh, a comeback mechanic where for some reason, for a limited time, I do double damage so I get lucky, and then I win the match out of nowhere. It's not like that at all. It's very fundamentals-based, and I like that about a fighting game, okay? So, today I'll be trying a different character outside of Jeffrey, all right? And who? I don't know. Already people are giving some suggestions. I just got a suggestion for Cage or Shundi. Or more. You know, some people have been saying different characters. We'll see. Let's see who I pick today. I don't know. But I'll be taking your input and picking a new character, going into the tutorial training mode, trying out other moves and specials and combos, and then going online, just like I did with Jeffrey last time. Okay? So it should be a good stream. I'm excited for this. It should be a good time. Later tonight, it'll be the return of new Pokemon Snap to the late stream. I'm nearing the end of the game for what I'm to understand. Maybe another 1 to 2 streams and we'll actually wrap it up. So why not give a push to try to finish it up, right? So that returns tomorrow, tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. And by the way, very chill stream. It's a relaxed atmosphere when I play Pokemon. It should be a good time tonight. Tomorrow, we return to Fallout New Vegas, a game that I'm really enjoying going back to after so many years away and not playing it, going back to it in a modern setting with interactive streaming and the better capture setup and everything. It's been really fun. Hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. More of that tomorrow on the major stream. Tomorrow night, it's the return of MLB The Show to the late stream. That should be a good time as well. Again, more about interaction, having conversation, than really focusing on the gameplay. It's a really great time. Hope you join me for that. Then on Wednesday, it's the continuation of Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition, which admittedly, I'll be very honest with all of you, I don't really remember this game. I've been playing it, I'm like, wait, what? This happens this early in the game? And I can't remember it. I don't know what it is about Mass Effect 3. For some reason, I can't remember the game. So I'm playing it, and I'm like, when did this happen? I don't remember fighting a woman in the beginning that becomes a robot that looks like Edie's body. Maybe, I guess later, maybe Edie takes over the body or something. I don't remember this at all. I really don't. And it was funny because when my wife was playing it over the past couple of weeks, every once in a while, you know, I between the streams, I'd walk into the living room, she'd be playing it. I'd be like, "What is this?" She's like, "Oh, it's Mass Effect 3. Didn't you play this?" I was like, "I did. I have no idea where you are or what you're doing. I don't remember this shit at all. All I remember is the end sequence. That's seriously the only thing I remember about the entire game is the end sequence. That's it." So apparently the game didn't resonate too much with me, but it'll feel like playing a new game again, I guess. So anyway, that's Wednesday's mainstream, and then Wednesday night, it's going to be the continuation of Divinity 2, which I haven't played in a very long time, but I'm bringing it back. We're going to have some Divinity 2 this week. Thursday is up in the air. It could either be more Fallout New Vegas, or we could do another stream of Virtua Fighter 5, maybe checking out yet another character. I will leave that in the realm of your discretion, guys. You guys let me know what you like this week as I play, and we'll decide, you know, what you guys want to do. All right, that'll be the main stream, one or the other for Thursday. Thursday night will be a late night session of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. And then on Friday, it's the big premiere of the week, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, the PlayStation 5 exclusive that I'll be playing at full 1080p and 60 frames per second here on the stream. I'm pleased to say this is the very first PlayStation 5 exclusive ever that I am playing at the proper resolution and frame rate because I'm now streaming on Twitch. Excuse me, because I'm now not streaming on Twitch. I'm streaming on YouTube. Twitch, of all the things that I liked about Twitch, all right, the one thing Twitch never got right and to this day still has not improved. It makes you wonder where the money's going. They still have not allowed people to stream at a higher bit rate. Right now here on YouTube, I'm streaming at 8,500 kilobits per second, I believe it is. And that's good enough to do 1080p 60 frames. On Twitch, the highest they let you go is like 6,000, maybe 6,500 before they complain and tell you to lower your bitrate. It's like, dude, this is 2020, now 2021. We're in a new console generation where these consoles can push 4K graphics, and you're telling people to broadcast at a bitrate that can't even handle 1080p 60 frames, but you're acting like you're a professional streaming site. You know? So, to me, the one thing they never improved, and again, you have to ask, with a ridiculous amount of people over there that are streaming in the partner program, and they're making money hand over fist on subs and on bits, where the fuck is the money actually going? Because it ain't going into the website. That website does not get regularly updated with any kind of infrastructure improvements. You know, it's basically being funneled into the parent company, and it's not going to the business, you know? So, that's sad to see. What else can I say? Anyway, I'm not on Twitch anymore. We get to stream at the proper quality, 1080p 60 frames. I'm very excited to be doing Ratchet and Clank this Friday with you guys, okay? Friday night will be my weekly throwback Street Fighter session. And then on Saturday, more Ratchet and Clank, okay? Likely, that'll be paired with my weekly Danganronpa stream, okay? And then, yes, I will actually be here on Sunday for a change, a full 7 days of streaming, and I'll be here on the Sunday. Sunday is the first major day of E3, where it's going to be both the Xbox and Bethesda co-press conference as well as the Square Enix press conference. I will be doing those with you guys live. Essentially, we'll be watching them together on the internet and commenting here in the stream chat. Then once those press conferences go offline, I'll immediately be jumping online with a recap and reactions for you guys, because that's what I like to do around E3 time, okay? I will not be formally covering Summer Games Fest in any capacity of like doing recap reactions. However, here's what I'm going to do. On the 14th, that's 1 week from today, that's my next day off, all right? Then that coming week, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, etc., I'll be doing regular streams, but at the end of that week, probably, I'm arguing maybe Friday, all right? I'm going to do a very special stream that's going to be the best and worst of E3 and Summer Games Fest 2021, where I'm going to go through all of the news stories and all of the news that came out of these events, and I'm going to run down through them in a summary fashion, letting you know what I thought about each and every one, and telling you what I thought was the best and worst news. All right? So, even though I won't be individually covering every conference this year like sometimes I do, I will be doing a summarized podcast / stream show, whatever you want to call it, later on in the week to serve that purpose. Okay? So there you go. So this streaming week is a great variety of stuff, plus coverage of new gaming news, new release. It's good stuff this week. I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited too. All right? Now, of course, we have things going on. Right now, we're in the midst of June, 1 week in, and we're trying to hit a membership goal for this month. The membership goal is 250 members, which is the same as subs over on Twitch, if you're wondering. When you become a member to the channel, you get many rewards, including getting a chat crown badge to show how long you've been a member, and some people will be going on their 2-month streak soon, which means their chat crown badges will be upgraded. Okay? Then in addition to that, you will get a green name in this chat, so you're highlighted. In addition to that, you get to access all the emotes of the channel. Right now, there's 16 and growing. For every 25 new members to the channel, we unlock a new emote, so the next milestone would be 175 members. Okay? All good stuff. And if we hit 250 members at any point this month, that means that we'll be doing a special celebratory event. We've been talking about it over the last week, whether you guys would like to see the return of the Rageathon, or maybe the return of an Indies Marathon, or maybe even the retrospective coming back, right? You know, we'll see. So please consider becoming a member this month. If you'd like to support the channel and also work towards a fun monthly goal, I appreciate that very much. Of course, guys, if you do super chats, okay? Super chats. I appreciate that. That's the equivalent of what cheering used to be over on Twitch, all right? Now, admittedly, some people super chat and troll, and there's nothing you can do about that. It's the same as when they used to cheer and troll over on Twitch. And I'm going to ignore those. But if you do super chat and it's a positive statement or something supportive of the channel, I will give it a shout out. All right? I'm expecting later this month, once I start getting paid from YouTube, to switch out that last tip that we have up there on the leaderboard and instead make that last super chat. But we'll see, because I don't know, because sometimes people troll. I'm like, people are just going to do trolling super chats all day. Do I really want to be updating the leaderboard 100 times? I got to think about what I want to do, okay? But anyway, you have all these ways to support the stream, and I appreciate it. But again, final time, just to reiterate, this week, ladies and gentlemen, incredibly important that I raise tips and I hit these tip goals every stream. I need to be hitting them every stream if possible, because I need to pay bills. I have 2 major bills and my mortgage coming up in the next week. I have to raise as much as possible to pay those. So please support the streams if you can. Okay? All right. It's time for shout-outs. We start off with Sanitary Accident, who is the first tipper of the day. He says, if you're a restaurant that's in trouble, at one point, the decision is made that you'll either keep using fresh produce and improve other stuff, or you have to keep using older and older food in order to keep by. This, however, is often the downfall of the restaurant. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? And I would almost get the feeling that in the last year, because of the pandemic, there were a lot of restaurants that were forced with make or break decisions. I'm going to give you a perfect example. There was a restaurant that Kat and I used to go to, okay? It was fresh Mediterranean-style food. So we're talking shawarma. We're talking heroes. I know you call them gyros, but they're really pronounced heroes. Hummus, rice, Greek-style salad and vegetables. You get kebabs of chicken or lamb or beef. But everything in the store was 100% fresh. Everything was completely fresh. Okay? Anytime you went in there, you could see them actually making the food in the background. Do you know how they have those giant rotating stacks of meat that they carve constantly during the day to make the food for you? They were doing it live there in front of you. It was all transparent. You could see them cooking. You knew what you were getting was incredibly good and incredibly fresh. My wife and I loved this place because you could go there and for like $15, you would get a plate that was insanely full of food. The seasoned rice, a side salad, hummus, pita bread, and your choice of either kebab or a gyro with your choice of meat. It was crazy amount of food for the value. It was just outstanding. And they were a very popular business. They went out of business during the pandemic. Can you guess why? Because they were based on fresh ingredients. Everything there was fresh, which is more expensive. Now, with the pandemic, they can't bring in enough customers because you can't have in restaurant dining anymore. They're reliant only on takeout. But they're reliant on fresh food. And if people are ordering, the food is not going to arrive as fresh as possible. They couldn't sustain. They went completely out of business, which is bullshit. They didn't deserve that. They didn't do anything wrong. They were an outstanding business, and they could not sustain just takeout. Compare that to, for example, the Chinese food place that I just described earlier on this pre-stream. Like, literally everything we ate was frozen, and we know it. Every piece of food that we ate was very bland, meaning the flavor went away when they froze the thing and then thawed it out later. The meat was completely rubbery and almost flavorless. How could you have a piece of meat in a stir fry and it tastes like nothing? Because you froze the flavor out of it, you know? But very well, this could have been what this business had to do to stay afloat in the pandemic. And it sucks that had to happen. But maybe now that things are going to fully open again, things can kind of get back to normal. I don't know. The sad part is I'm sure a lot of these restaurants kind of now fell into line with having everything kind of crappy quality, and now they're not going to go back, you know? But Sanitary Accident sadly is correct when it comes to this kind of stuff. I seriously hope that things get back to normal sooner rather than later. I think we all deserve it after this very stressful year most people had. And hopefully people will be safe. Hopefully people are smart. They got the vaccine and everything. But God forbid I mention that on my stream and then I get lynched for it. For saying political things. How dare you, Phil? But anyway, I digress. Okay. Shall we continue? All right. So Snowcrawl did a couple of tips this morning. His first tip, he says, when I was a shift leader in my early 20s in the service industry, we unfortunately had to keep our employees on weekly schedules due to inconsistent demands. Sucks for those who work unskilled jobs on part-time contracts, but it's supply and demand. Now, this is true, except that when I criticize a business for not having a consistent schedule, it's not, oh, it's a service industry business, and sometimes, you know, you have a high demand and sometimes you have low demand. It's not the case. These are retail stores. These are stores that need to have the same manpower every day no matter what. They can't have a day with one person working and a day with 20 people working. It doesn't make sense. They should have consistent manpower in the store at all times. The problem is, increasingly this is happening in all of the retail industry. All right? We went from a retail industry that had actually educated, skilled workers, people who were motivated to give customers a heightened level of service. When a customer used to go into a retail store or a department store, it used to be like an experience. Like the people in there were courteous, friendly, and knew everything about the products that they sold. I'll give you an example. When I was a kid, my dad wanted to get a new stereo system for our house. So we went to, at this point, I think the name of the business was called like The Wiz or something like that. Nobody Beats The Wiz. So we walked into there. And immediately, some guy who knew everything about electronics walked up to you and said, what are you looking for? I'll help you find the right thing. Can you describe the size of the room that you're trying to make the sound system for? What kind of music do you listen to? Is it on tapes? Is it on records? Because back then, yes, they actually still played records. And he takes all your information, and based on the information, he shows you products that you can buy that are in line with what you're looking for. Okay? Because the guy's smart and educated. So now, you make the right choice, you buy the product. By the way it used to work is, in a retail industry, if you made a sale, you made a commission on the sale. So it actually was incentivized that you would make a good sale, because if you did, the customer wouldn't return the product, they would keep the product, and you would make this commission on the sale that was significant. So there was a reason to know what you were doing, all right? That was how retail used to be everywhere. I'm not even kidding you. Like, everywhere. That's how it was. You go into a clothing store or a jewelry store, perfume. You go into an electronics store. Anywhere you went, every employee was educated to the product they were selling and cared about the customer. Then, at some point, these corporations realized, we could make more money if we just reduce the amount of pay that we pay our employees, and fuck them all. Don't teach them anything about the products. Don't make anyone be educated. Just fucking let them go in there and do whatever they want. Let the stores just sell low-quality goods, high profit margins on the base sale. Who cares if the customer's happy and comes back? We don't give a fuck. Oh, by the way, be sure to sell the extended warranty plan when you sell that piece of garbage to them, because that way we make insane amounts of money that will absolutely never have to pay back, because we almost never even grant those warranty plans. They're a complete scam. So what it is these companies changed everything. They completely redesigned what a retail business would be from the ground up. Instead of being a service-based industry where you go in and you have a great customer satisfaction experience and you go home with the right product, and by the way, the employee's happy because the employee makes a big commission on the sale, it changed into hire anyone off the street. It could be a teenager fresh out of high school who doesn't even know anything about work. It could be a person who is completely overqualified for the job but is so desperate for a job, just hire whoever. Doesn't matter. Pay them dirt. Pay them the bare minimum what we can pay them for that position. Zero training, zero education, zero actual follow-up on the job. Who even cares if they do the job well or not? Don't give a fuck, right? Just put people on the floor. And then buy products from suppliers where the profit margin can be sky high just on the base sale, rather than worrying about, a product that's a little bit more expensive to manufacture but is higher quality. We don't care about the quality. All we care about is making base sale numbers. That's it. Sell shit to idiots and don't fucking have an educated employee force and pay them dirt too. So essentially, we turned retail businesses from a place where you get a quality, satisfactory experience, the customer's happy, the employee's happy, and the business is happy, to everything became Walmart, where every retail store is now crappy quality product, piece of shit that breaks within a week. You get the wrong thing, doesn't matter, nobody cares. Employees don't know fuck about anything, don't get paid a lot, don't care about their jobs. Everyone's unhappy. That's the retail industry in America. Why? Because corporations wanted to line their pockets with more dollars, and they realized they could exponentially increase profits by making everyone on the planet unhappy. Wow. So, you want to talk to me about service industry and making a schedule. If you're in the service... Now there's a difference, by the way, there's a difference between the service industry and the retail industry. They're different. Service industry implies, for example, like fast food restaurants, things like that. You're doing a service for someone. That's different than, say, actual, like, in a retail store, just having employees on the floor. You see, it's a little different. But if you're in the retail industry, and you're a manager, and you're unable to make a fucking schedule, you're an idiot. And you should not be employed. It's that simple. That's your core responsibility, is to make sure that you have employees on the floor at all times to cover the store, right? And if you can't do that, that base level job expectation, then you shouldn't have that job. But that's the problem. The retail industry, they don't even care. They don't care. It's pathetic. So now you have me go on a rant. All right. Well, Snowcrawl tipped me another $1.30. He says, why would you lower your tips goal to $100 per stream again? The only one demanding that is the trolls. If you consistently raise 200, you should. You will not get as much in YouTube revenue as Twitch, subs, and bits at least. He says, I should at least have a $150 stream goal. Here's the thing, all right? What I would like to do is I would like to go back to how we had it on Twitch. On Twitch, I always used to say the following. Hey, you can cheer, you can sub, you can tip. All these things are great ways to support the stream, and I'll give you a shout-out no matter what you do, and I'm happy no matter what you do. Thank you in advance, right? And it wasn't about harping on, you have to tip me or whatever. There were times when, yes, I had to do that because of short-term issues that arose. But if you didn't notice, like, for many, many months, I wasn't really mentioning the tips thing. It wasn't a big deal anymore because I was able to just kind of relax. Hey, you want a tip? Go right ahead. Tip me. That's great. But you can also cheer. You can also sub. And I had so many coming in, right, that it was enough that it didn't matter, right? And that's where I want to get back to. And I feel that if I'm always harping on tips, saying, oh, we have a $200 tips goal or whatever, it's never going to go back to people feeling like, oh, I can casually just toss some support for Phil. It's going to be more like, well, Phil just wants tips and I can't tip right now, so oh well. And I don't want that. I want it that it feels more natural and relaxed here, that yes, you can support the stream, but that's not what the stream's for. If you like what you're seeing, support the stream however you see fit. And I feel that if we have $200 tips goals every stream, that's not going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Like, we have to go back to some semblance of normality of how things were before I lost my Twitch partnership now. It's been a month and a half, and we got to get back to settling in back to how it was. We have to. Okay? So, I think what we will do, as I said, is once this YouTube payment does actually come through later this month, then we'll probably go ahead and lower the tips goals back to how they were. And then it'll be like, hey, support me however you like. You want a tip? Great, that helps. You want to become a channel member? Great, that helps. You want to do a super chat? Thanks so much. It's all great. It's all gravy, as they say. You don't have to worry about, oh no, now Phil, this is happening with Phil, and that's happening with Phil, and he needs this and he needs that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm tired of it, but I got one more week I basically got to get through with that shit. Okay? Okay. With Dre Day, tipped me $2, said I had a gyro in North Florida. I laughed. Chicago, New York City gyros, literally double that meat. Might as well go to Arby's. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like anything, any cultural cuisine in the United States gets Americanized and then basically changed from what it's supposed to be. I mean, personally, I could tell you, from anywhere I go here in the Pacific Northwest that sells pizza, that no one that actually sells pizza here is actually selling real pizza. They're selling some weirdo version of pizza that they have been convinced is real pizza when it's not. Growing up on the East Coast of the United States and having authentic style East Coast pizza and how different that is, I totally get the difference. So when you say, oh, these aren't really gyros or whatever, I hear you. I understand. I've been there. I know the difference between these cuisines and these Americanized versions of the cuisines and how they're not even close to what the original concepts were actually supposed to be. All right, I got to tell you guys a quick story. You guys, I feel, will get a laugh out of this one. So you remember I was telling you how yesterday we ordered food. We were looking for a new place to eat, and we ended up ordering from this crappy, Chinese restaurant, right? So while I was looking for new places to eat, this place popped up, and it was called Slice of Italy. I was like, oh, Slice of Italy. So this is going to be Northwestern United States, Northern Pacific pizza. Let's see what they have. It's literally called Slice of Italy. You would think they would be going for authentic pizza, all right? So the first things that they list there are pretty normal pizza. Pepperoni pizza, double cheese pepperoni pizza, stuff like that. Okay, typical Americanized pizza. That's what you would expect, right? So then I start to go deeper in. I'm like, wait a minute, what? What is that? And it'll be like, they had a pizza. I'm not kidding you. The name of the pizza was Today I'm a T-Rex pizza. Now this pizza had pepperoni, salami, sausage, bacon, and ham. It was a 5-meat insane pizza. Now, even then you might argue, well, that's just really Americanized pizza. They go all over the top and do stupid stuff, right? So that's to be expected, okay? Today I'm a T-Rex pizza. The T-Rex eats a bunch of meat, all right? So I kept going down the listing of stuff they had. They had something called the Devil's Fried Fingers, which apparently what it was cheesy breadsticks where they put in a ton of like spices to make them like burning hot. I was like, okay, not exactly authentic Italian. Let me continue to go. All right, now you're going to love this one. Chicken tikka masala pizza. Chicken vindaloo pizza. Samosa breadsticks. What? And then I realized this is an Indian restaurant. This was a restaurant actually being run by Indian people, and they were selling pizza. Because then when you look at the rest, it was all Indian fusion cuisine. It was like Indian food turned into Italian food. I was like, what? And I'm serious. Now, not to say there's anything wrong with that. You want to do a special, like a Indian fusion restaurant. We want to fuse the cuisine of Italy and India. Go for it. I like Indian food. I like Italian food. Okay? But why then would you name your restaurant a Slice of Italy? I'm pretty sure when you go to Italy, they don't serve chicken vindaloo on their pizza. You know? It's just like, what on earth? So, and by the way, you're absolutely right, Jake. He says chicken tikka masala is actually a United Kingdom invention. I learned this. I've been watching a food show recently, and they said, yeah, they wanted to make a national Indian dish for the UK, and they invented that tikka masala. That it's not actually authentic Indian at all. It was invented in the UK, but now it's worldwide, and people think that it's Indian when it's really British, and now they're putting it on pizza here in the Pacific Northwest. So. Anyway, so after looking at this, Kat and I were like, you know what? Just oddity's sake, one day we're going to order from this place. I don't know what we're going to order. I said, just on oddities to see what it is. Maybe we'll buy those deviled spicy fingers and we'll order a pizza and we'll see what the hell kind of pizza do Indian people make. Is it actually close to anything that we're used to would be considered pizza? Or is it going to be like completely different, right? But anyway, I thought that would be entertaining. Or to try it out at some point. I don't know. That could be a pretty interesting DSP tries it. Order from a Slice of Italy and try Indian style pizza. Right? All right. All right, guys. So, does anyone else have anything else that they would like to talk about on today's pre-stream before we get ready to play some Virtua Fighter. At this point, I think I've covered all the topics I wanted to talk about. Like I said, what we're going to do, we're going to take a break as usual. I'll use the restroom. When I come back, I'll pick a character I haven't used yet. We'll go into the training/tutorial mode. I'll mess around with their special moves and combos, and then we'll take them online and see how well I can do. Okay. Yoshino Lover's here. He's excited for Virtua Fighter 5. I am as well, sir. I'm excited to see what happens with a new character today. Like I said, what I want to do, I want to use a different character. You know, Jeffrey was a character who's a slow, lumbering character, but had some good throws and combos. I want to do someone who may be faster, maybe has more focused on mix-ups, like high-low mix-ups, rather than be having slow counter hits. Because I feel that that's going to be more effective, especially in online play. Hello, Turtle Dude. How long will I spend in training mode? Just long enough to get through the moves list. Like, I did this with Jeffrey. I went into training mode with Jeffrey. And you go through his tutorial moves. You test them all out. And then there's like 3 example combos or whatever. And then that's it. And then go online. Akira is the best character. Lion. Gadaro Sienta says, try Lion. Yoshino Lover wants me to try Brad Burns. That's the boxer. The kickboxer who beat my ass last stream because he's fast as shit. Sucker Surprise wants me to go through Wolf's Throw. Sucker Surprise, I'm not using Wolf today. If Wolf is another slow grapple character, I will use him eventually. I just don't think... I don't want to use 2 grapple characters back to back. You gotta do some variety. Here we go again. Someone for the upteenth time asking me, why don't I use automated updates for my leaderboard? There's 2 reasons why. The first reason is because I'm the kind of person where I want to give a personal thank you shout out for every contribution that comes in. That's how I am. As a streamer, people like the fact that they could get a personal interaction with me while other streamers basically just gloss over it. I always want to give that personal shout out. If I'm forced to manually update the leaderboard for contributions, it makes me notice every contribution and say thank you for it. That's number 1. Number 2, unlike the wide variety of other people who stream games, I have an insane amount of trolls who come in here and try to immediately do things to get me in trouble. If I automated the leaderboards, the first thing they would do is come in with racist and disgusting things and put them up on my leaderboard, and then I would have to frantically try to get them off the leaderboard constantly. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste my fucking time sitting there trying to remove racist things and fucking insulting things from my leaderboard. So instead, I'll do it myself. And by the way, I've only done this full time since early 2017. It's not an issue, all right? It doesn't hinder the streams for me to have to update the leaderboard manually, and makes them much more streamlined and fun than they would be if they were automated, and then I had to go back and fix it every 5 seconds, okay? Hollywood Joey says, try Gene. He's really good. Gadaro says, Lion's great. He has a good chain. He can avoid grabs because of his hitbox. That's right. Doesn't Lion have that low to the ground stance? He has those, like, his fingers are pointed, and I forget what they call it. Is it Viper style or something? I forget what they call the style, but I think because he's low to the ground, people try to grab the whiff a lot because he kind of goes under everything, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Am I going to try Guilty Gear Strive? Asked Albert Sneed. I've already answered this. The answer is no at this point. Earlier this month, I posed the question to my viewers. I said, would you rather see me try out Virtua Fighter 5 or Guilty Gear Strive? I wasn't going to do both because they're both different, completely different fighting game franchises, right? And I knew playing them, I would have to put a significant amount of time into a fighting game to try to learn anything from it. So there's no way I could play 2 at once, especially with the fact that everything else going on this month. I knew I wasn't going to be able to play 2 fighting games. And I asked the question, and people basically said, do Virtua Fighter 5. So that's why I'm doing Virtua Fighter 5. Okay? Now things could change long term. What if Virtua Fighter 5 after a week or 2, people get tired of it or I get tired of it? Maybe I want to try out Guilty Gear. I will, but I think I'm going to have more fun with Virtua Fighter. And by the way, I hate to say it, but I think more people will be playing Virtua Fighter anyway because it's free this month for PS Plus as opposed to Guilty Gear Strive, which you have to buy. You see? Okay. By the way, shout out to Eddie, who has just become a channel member. Thank you for the membership, Eddie. I appreciate that very much. That gets us up to 158 members. We are making the slow climb to 175 and unlocking a new emote, guys. So thank you for the support. All right. All right. By the way, Holly Wolf Joey said Gene or A. I don't know how to pronounce this. AOI. How the fuck do you say AOI? Aoi? A-I? How do you say that fucking name? I have no idea. But he says both of them, Gene and however you say that name, basically have great counter moves and they're fast. Yeah, completely different from the Jeffrey style, right? Sean Davidson, where were you last stream? I played with Jeffrey for like an hour and a half or more online with him last stream. Where were you? He acts like I never played a match online or something. Huy, huy, huy. Okay. The Original Lover says, I tried playing this game a few days back. It seems like they want you to use a fight stick, which I don't have, so it's pretty hard. Yes, I will say this. Unlike most modern fighters, Virtua Fighter 5 was made in 2006. That came before Street Fighter 4. That came before all the more modernized Tekkens, before the modernized Mortal Kombats, before Injustice, before a lot of fighting game franchises that are the main franchises right now. All right? So, this game does not have dumbed down inputs. This game actually requires you to put in strict inputs. And that's actually quite difficult to do on a gamepad. It really does seem to lean itself towards using a joystick. Right? So, that's why, honestly, I think the game is pretty good. It really feels like a throwback to me to the classic days of fighting games. It's not just about mashing, you know. I did play a few mashers online. They didn't get very far. You know what I mean? The game has no gimmicks. The game doesn't have a, ultimate reversal move that blows 80% of your life away at the end of the round. Or, oh, look at this invincible wake-up super that gets you, you can't block because of lag online. It doesn't seem to have any of that. It's just a straightforward fighter with no bullshit. So if you learn the engine, you learn the characters, you'll actually do pretty well at the game because it's more about fundamentals than stupid pattern shit. Which is, of course, the opposite of Street Fighter V. The 100% of the game is stupid pattern shit. Right? So, good stuff. Alright. Alright, guys. I guess let's take a break. A few minutes break here, everyone. Grab a drink or a snack, use the restroom, do whatever you need to do. I'm going to use the restroom myself. And when we return, I'll be trying out a new character in Virtua Fighter 5. We'll see what I can figure out here and go from there. Fair enough? All right, thank you guys. I will see you all after this brief break. And I'll be right back. Thanks.